All right. Welcome back to Bible for Talk with me, Dwayne Brown. And yeah, I know I saw a missed today of putting out the video, but I'm gonna put it out tomorrow. This one for tomorrow. That's supposed to be for today, but man, my apologies. But I've been coming home very, very late from work, so I gotta try and balance things out so I could make sure. But I think I probably might gonna start put out probably 3 times a week. So that way, cause on the last 2 videos I think I make, I was very tired. So I'm gonna probably do 3 times a week and put more effort into what I'm doing. Probably just make it better. Like do 100%. You know what I mean? And not just saying I'm planting the seed and the seed is gonna do its own thing. I gotta do my part to make sure the seed is acceptable and make sure the seed is at the right place. So I gotta make sure the seed is accessible. So I gotta make sure I do my part so that the algorithm could put it out there to reach the right person. All right, Bible for Talk, a place where we talk about Bible. Read books about Bible, things about Bible. And right now we are reading Brother Herbert J. Brunswick, Hidden Truth Revealed, and we are in book 5, Adam Had to Die. And yeah, man, you do give some good points. You make you look at things, and he asks some very good questions, like for real, why did the father had to take a rib out from Adam? And why there's multiple ribs women get instead of just one, because only one he take out from Adam. You know what I mean? What's the significance in it? And that's what I'm saying. The Bible, man, it is a parable. It's a parable. It's so much stuff that's so deep. That's why when you go to church and preaching, just preaching, man, that's why not a lot of people get roots, because none of them really teaching. They're not teaching the scriptures. They're just preaching it and then charging, and it's just, man, I don't even want to talk about that, but that's a different thing. That's why a lot of people in the church have no roots, because they don't really understand the parables that is of the Bible. You know what I mean? Certain things is not parables, but most of the things are parables in there. And it's for us to get in there. And not only that, is you have to get to the Holy Spirit. And if your pastor is just preaching to you, it's going to be very hard. You got to do a lot more work to get there. You know what I mean? So you got to find somebody that's doing the teaching. You got to get somebody that do teaching and not preaching. You know what I mean? So you could build a relationship with the Heavenly Father, married to Him. You know what I mean? And stop doing a religious things or whatever they want to call it. You got to get a relationship with the Father. You know what I mean? You got to walk with Him, have that relationship. All right. Let's continue with the reading for ado. We're going to read the last sentence. And only the beginning of showing the mystery how God made man and woman. Okay? Now, let's go to Genesis 1:26 to 28 and Genesis 5:1 to get an even better understanding of how God made man. Genesis 1:26 to 27 reads, and God said, let us make man in our image, plural, our image. You know what I mean? So there was people with God when the Father when he was there, and God, Yahweh, there was people there with him. You know what I mean? Probably the angels, you know. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yahweh created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he him. You see, this says right here, male and female he created he him. You see, male and female. So this says they probably create two people. That's why I said there was people in the garden, which was Adam, and then there was people out of the garden. Those are the people that Cain talk about. Who's going to want to kill him? You know what I mean? But if I'm not mistaken, I believe the same brother talk about he, him, was the male and the female was within him. But I believe, to me, with Adam personally, he probably had all that in him because he was a representation of man. But I personally believe there was people outside of the garden. That's just me. If I can't find it in scriptures, but that's just me. You know, because right here it says, so God created. There we go. Where it is. Let us make man in our image. In our, so it probably might be in different people. They make it in their image, and he making his. So everybody make their own thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not that type of brother that's so deep down to understand certain things. I'm still feed off of people and use my discernment whether or not to take it or leave it. All right, let's go. In Genesis 1:27, we see that God created man. Most people, and some translations suggest that Genesis 1:27 and Genesis 1:5 mean that God created mankind, meaning man and woman. I think it's mankind, but like I said, Adam was a representation. Adam was different, just like our Christ was different. That's why, you know what I mean? Adam was different, just like our Christ was different. You know? I pray that I can break this down for you so that it is absolutely clear what is happening here. The Bible is not teaching that God, Yahweh, created mankind, or that God created man and woman at the same time on the sixth day. You see, God created male and female inside of man on the sixth day, on day 6. And male and female does not mean man and woman. No, not necessarily. You could get a male plant and a female plant. You know what I mean? Does not necessarily mean man. But let's see where you're going with this. Yes, a man is male and a woman is female. But male and female also describe the sex of any plant or animals, correct? The Strong Concordance number for male is H2145 and the number for man is H120. On the other hand, the Strong Concordance number for female is H5347, whereas the number for woman and wife is H802. So, when the Bible talks about male and female, it is not just describing man and woman, but it is describing sexual components. Correct. Male and female are also words used to describe the sexual makeup of animals. The word male, the word man, and woman are never used to describe animals. Man and woman are male and female, respectively. But the word male and female do not necessarily means man and woman as much as it is describing sexual nature. Therefore, the emphasis is using the term male and female is about the sexual component rather than physical frame. Genesis 1:27 say, Wait a minute, man. Genesis 1:27 say that God created man, male and female, and not that God created man and woman. So the Bible is talking about God creating man, not mankind, and that man was called Adam, and Adam was made up of both male and female components inside of him. Yeah, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. With Eve, it's not a rib, it's the womb. It's the womb. I could see where you're going with this. I'll see that. Like a seed, like God also encompassing. I don't know what I looked that word up. Encompassing. Now, I know that this may be totally confusing to many of you because of what you have been taught all of these years. If anybody had been taught that God made man and female, Adam and Eve at the same time, they had been taught really wrong. But I remember the dude that teaches that the father tell Noah for bringing animals in 2 by 2. But if you do read the text, it's not 2 by 2. You know what I mean? The unclean animals was 2 by 2, but the clean animals was more than one. I guess the reason why is so that Noah could eat. He and his family could eat. All right. Now, I know that this may be totally confusing to many of you because of what you have been taught all of these years. But, unlike Christ who speak in parables so that only those who God choose would understand what he was teaching, I'm not intentionally writing this so that you will not understand it. However, I do recognize that only God is able to open the eyes of those who he has chosen to see this. Mark 4:11-12. And to understand why it is important for us to know this. The Bible tells us that on day 6, God made man. He didn't make mankind. For did he make man and woman? He made man. Nor did he make man and woman. He made man. Period. And the man was called Adam. Genesis 1:27 also said that God created man. This man was made to contain male and female sexual components on day 6 for the purpose of creating man in God's image. Yeah, I could see that. I could buy it. But as I'm saying, Adam didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. He just take the path that requires death. But if he had, like I said, if he had taken the other path when he eat of the tree of life, he would not have gotten the chance to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That would have sealed off, just like how the tree of life is sealed off right now. So the whole world and how we look at things will probably be completely different in a remarkable way. You know, I mean, a lot of things, death would never be in here. The devil would not have access to us like the way he do have access to us right now, because the Father will be a lot more protective of us because we have everlasting life, we have a long life, and we would not be in this type of body. You know what I mean? We probably might be in maybe the incorruptible body that we're going to get into when the first resurrection. I don't know. But it would not be this body. And it would be very difficult for the devil to have access to us. It would have been a remarkable seeing how the world would become, man. You know, but unfortunately, that's not the path we take, and that's not the life we're living. You know, I mean, maybe they said so as above, so as below. Maybe there's two worlds, there's two paths. One path, if he eat of the knowledge of good and evil, on one path if you eat of the tree of life. That's a thought. But hey, it's just a thought. Alright, I'm not gonna continue reading this because it goes to the second another going to the image of God. It going to another chapter, so I don't want to mix up the chapters. So I'm just gonna cut it right here for today. Wow, this is a long time. For the first time for a long time, I stopped at actual around 15 minutes. Alright. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming at Bible for Talk. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, people, stay blessed. Remember, read your text.